Hey, how y'all doing? It's Craig here again. This is going to be a continuation of the video that I shot reinstalling the oil pump on this 372 clone, Huztl clone. I was just going to do two separate videos and I thought I'd just compile them all together and just do one video. I know in the initial video I said I'd leave it set a couple days. It's been more like a week. I've just been busy, haven't been able to get back to it. But I am now confident that the thread locker has set up. Shouldn't have no problems with vacuum or pressure leaks around them threads on the two bolts that hold the oil pump on. Remember, them two bolts actually go clear through the case half into the crankcase. So be sure you seal them if you're building one of these. Even if you're building the true Husqvarna version, you got to make sure you seal them threads. So now we're at the point here, getting ready to gas it up. Put some bar oil in it. This saw, since I have built it, typically takes anywhere between 7 to about 12 pulls to get it started. It's been like that since the very first pull. Still has a lot of oil residue where it was leaking real bad and got sucked up into the flywheel. I should take this apart and clean it out, but I'm not going to right now. I'll do that at a later point. Get me a couple cans of brake clean and I'll just douche it out, so to say. So we'll gas this up, we'll put bar oil in it, we'll start it, we'll make sure the oil pump's working. And like I told you, I've got the chain soaking in some regular motor oil. That'll be also in the video. It's just some 30 weight and it's been soaking all this time, so I'm confident that there's plenty of oil down inside the chain pins, so when I go to start it up, won't have no issue with the chain. So here we go. Once we get it started, I'm also going to get my tack out, so I'll have to stop it at one point and we're going to adjust it and set the carburetor, and I'll set this to run between 13 and 13.2. I've already shook the gas up. It's probably about 7/8 of a tank right there. It's not clear full, but it's down about yay far. I always just take the scrunch here and just give it a little more past finger tight, just to make sure that it seals good. Then I'll take my bar oil. This is the rubber spout that I bought from Rural King for, I don't know, I think it was a couple bucks. But it makes putting bar oil in these chainsaws. I mean, there's the stream that comes out of it. And when you stop squeezing on it, it pretty much goes to nothing, and then it's stopped. Just prevents you from making a big mess. Takes a little bit longer, obviously. And you got to tip it to get a little air in it from where you're squeezing the bottle. Or the jug in this case. And again, now it's full, so I can stop it right where it's full and not a drip lost. Put the cap back on it. The cap actually comes attached to it when you buy it brand new. As with the gas cap, take my scrunch. Just a little extra there, just to make sure. I even do that when I'm out in the field cutting. Just give it a little shake because there was just a little extra gas in there. I'm not putting the clutch cover on it. I know that's a bad thing, but I want to make sure that we're getting sufficient amount of oil while it's running. So let me set you up here. Probably something about like that right there, and we'll do the first start, and then I'll come back and then we'll tack it. Like I said, remember this takes typically between 7 and 12 pulls. Pull the choke out, make sure it's turned on. There's 12. And I've got the switch off. Turn the switch on. Now let's see what it'll do. Choke was not completely on. I've evidently hit it. There we go. Now she'll take off and run. Compression release in. No oil yet. Should have been oiling by now. Let me get you guys set back up here where we can see what's going on. And I do have my doors open, so don't worry about running it inside here. Nothing there, so it was a completely dry system. And as you've seen, I put oil in it, so there could be like a little airlock. So I'm going to pause this. What I'll do is I'll run a little bit of oil backwards through the pump to try to prime it, and then we'll come back and see what we got. Okay, found another little issue here. The vent for the oil tank is not holding. Wipe the oil out of it. I'll zoom in. I've got my fan running now. This might be, well, it is an issue. I got the oil cleaned out of it. We'll let it sit there. See the oil forming, the puddle forming. When I took the guide plate off, there was all kinds of oil laying down in this bottom channel. You see there how the oil's starting to form right there? It's actually got some pressure built up in the tank, and it's forcing it back past the little duckbill valve in there. I believe this is the duckbill. And that's obviously not going to be good. See how it's starting to form up here now? It's running. Sorry about that, hit the camera. So, going to have to put a new vent in there. And I'm not going to go any further with trying to get oil out of the tube at this point. Not until I get that vent fixed. But you did hear it run. Like I said, this is the big bore kit. It does have some, I'll call it mild port work. I didn't go overboard with it. I basically just widened the ports out a little bit, got in there, cleaned them up, and put just a little bit of an angle on the roof of the transfer ports to kind of direct it more toward the top of the cylinder. I got in there, I cleaned up the intake, opened it up a little bit side by side, and also done the same thing with the muffler. The exhaust side, I opened it up, cleaned it up, gasket matched it. On the intake side, I made sure that it was a clean transfer from the rubber intake boot into the metal casting of the intake runner, and that's basically about all I've done. As you can see, that oil's built back up again. So that's a pretty substantial leak right there. That would definitely leave oil all over your floor. So anyway, I also done the muffler mod. I think I talked about that. Just a 3/4 inch piece of copper pipe that I brazed into the muffler. I took the original outlet and just took a bimetal hole saw and run it backwards to score, and then I was able to run it forward and drill through it, then just put my piece of copper in there and then brazed it. Okay, well, until I get this fixed, I'm pretty much done with it. I'll go ahead and get all this uploaded, and when I get the tank vent and get ready to put it in, we'll come back and I'll show you. It's pretty straightforward. It just comes out and then goes back in, but I'll do a short video on that too. Okay, thanks for watching, y'all. See you in the next video.